Welcome back to Mitten Money Bets, the gambling podcast that nobody asked for. We're back again, week 4. Today is September 16th, 2021. We have an awesome show for you guys. We're going to recap last week's picks, unfortunately. We'll move through that segment fast for my purposes. Do a weekend recap. We'll walk through our NFL picks, Dog of the Week for the NFL. We'll do Ask the Mitten, a new segment alert, beep boop bop.
Beep, beep.
It's called Fuck JT Daniels. Then we'll go through our NCAA week 4 picks? Week 3? Week 3.
Week 3 for college, 2 for NFL.
Yep. And then we'll do College Dog of the Week and wrap up the show. So, let's
shout out to our amazing sponsor,
Mitten Money Merch.
Woo, woo.
You know where to find us. We're on Twitter. We'll have some new designs dropping shortly. Graphic designer Evan has been slacking as usual. What's new? Just kidding. Kid works hard. Proud of him.
Yeah.
We've been too busy trying to find winners, but this week we're going undefeated. No excuses. Love the board. Let's ride. Cue the intro.
Rolling, holds it, turns through the legs. Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me? This is
All right, let's get right into the show. I would like to cruise past this first part. Let's just recap our picks first, and then we'll get into weekends. We'll start the show on a low. We'll continuously build up to a high.
Okay.
I'll kick us off.
All right.
Kick us off this week.
Go for it.
Did I have a bad week? Sure. I went 2-4 combined in college and NFL. No excuses. We're going to move past it. However,
everything I touch turns to gold.
Spin zone. Sometimes you need one of these weeks to get humbled. You get too into the stats. This week, I'm going to learn for myself and just pick from the heart. I'm just going to pick from the heart. I'm going to be a football guy. I'm just going to look at the teams, pick a team. No stats, very few stats. I also was trying, I think I'm trying to chase like a job at Barstool at this point because
you pick losers.
I pick losers. Dave Portnoy, Big Cat. I'll send you my resume. I picked a lot of losers last week.
I know that they're watching this show too. So
I
they're
know
definitely
going to
see it.
They have to be.
Yeah.
So Oregon OSU, what a winner. Under 63.5. We finished at 63. Thank you, CJ Stroud, for being the worst Big Ten quarterback. Hot take there.
That is a very hot take.
The Ohio State defense is horrible. I don't know how their coordinator still has a job. And this is unrelated to this game, but is Fresno State amazing? Because
they're definitely top 5.
Oregon's one of the best teams in the country. I think college football playoff ranking, I'm going Alabama, UCLA, Fresno State,
Oregon.
No, I'll go Oregon, Fresno State.
Okay,
Oregon beat Fresno State. I think it's only fair.
And Fresno is definitely higher than Ohio State because they lost by less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ohio State isn't the best team in Ohio now.
Ohio Bobcats.
We'll get to that later.
Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh, Tennessee. I mean, asterisk next to that game. Joe Milton got injured. Both teams forgot to play defense. Pickett on Pittsburgh is the best quarterback in the world now. If I'm Clemson, I'm shaking in my boots. Ukulele is rattled.
Definitely not the best quarterback in the ACC.
41-34. I'm a clown for picking the under. My bad. I hated points. And then a horrible beat at Northern Illinois, Wyoming.
Treacherous.
Wyoming was up 19 points, and Northern Illinois, no, they were up 20. Northern Illinois comes out in the fourth quarter, scores 21 straight, takes the lead 43-42. Wyoming marches down the field, scores, goes for 2, 50-43. Rocky Lombardi throws his third pick of the game. He's still bad. They win 50-43. I had plus 6.5. If you got it on game day, you got it at 7. I'm a clown.
Yeah.
I'll just take my L in silence. And then we'll go to you for your college picks.
My college pick started out, I thought I was going to go 3-0. Silly me. Repeated last week with the 1-2. Started off with Coastal minus 25. They won by 26. Did I think
Incredible game.
Did I think Kansas was going to score over 15? No. Coastal Carolina also had a blocked punt touchdown, so that's sick. You love to see that. I hate Nebraska. Their defense isn't great, but Buffalo stinks, apparently.
Yep.
And I switched from taking Buffalo with the points to the over, which are both losers. So I'm also a clown for that. I'm moving away from Adrian Martinez. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm going to get upset. On to the USC minus 17 for Stanford. I actually called Mike Bone, who is the athletic director at USC. Fourth quarter, I go, hey, Mike, fire that fucking bum as your coach. Yeah. Fire him.
Clay Helton, you don't deserve a job anywhere.
And what did he do? He fired him. So, yeah, I mean, that just shouldn't have happened. If they play again, it's probably a closer game. But I don't think Stanford puts up 40 points.
Hey, yeah, Clay Helton, McDonald's is hiring loser.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, and then dog of the week, Tennessee's bad. We should have known that. That's our bad. Me and Eldred argued about dog of the weeks, and we picked the only one that didn't win. We argued about BYU. Who else?
Iowa.
Iowa is the best team in the country, I think, at this point. Dog of the weeks 1 and 2. We'll learn from it. We'll get better. We'll continue to grow there. My NFL pick recap. Steelers Bills under 47.5 wasn't even close. Both defenses lived up to the hype. 23-16 there. Another asterisk game. Ryan Fitzpatrick got injured with a hip injury in Washington, Los Angeles Chargers. Still had a chance to win. Taylor Heineke.
Cody did text me and say this doesn't count as a joke, and I said, yes, it does.
Yep. We'll count it, sure, why not? Justin Herbert's the truth. He threw for 337 yards on that Washington defense. Whatever. And then Ravens, Monday Night Chaos. I'm not even mad that this pick lost because that game was incredible last night. Silly me for thinking that the Ravens could go in and win at a stadium opener. Stadium openers were 2-0 this week, Rams and Raiders, both on prime time. Lamar Jackson, no clutch gene. He'll never win the big one.
No.
I thought he was a regular season guy. He still isn't that.
Nope.
And are the Raiders good?
They're sneaky good. Their offense is sneaky good.
Derek Carr threw for 400 yards on that defense.
He slings it around.
Also, Darren Waller had 19 targets last night.
I was going to say, else. I saw a drive where they went 3 and out with all 3 throws going to Waller.
Yeah, it's like a little kid playing Madden for the first time, just keeps throwing it to the same guy over and over again. Derek Carr, you have other weapons.
Henry Ruggs, do something.
Brian Edwards.
Yeah.
All right, now your NFL recap. You had a great week.
Yeah, great week, 3-0. Not a surprise to me. That's what I expect every week. Lions made a scary comeback in the fourth. I had 7.5, and Lions were driving down 8 to try to tie it up after getting an onside kick and a fumble within the last 2 minutes.
Also, listen to the pod when it drops because you said you had it at 7. It was 9.5 on game day.
Ended at game day 9.5.
It was an 8-point game.
You're a loser if you took a game day.
Yep.
Feels bad. I don't care though. Moving on. Keep it moving with San Fran plus the points. That was a winner. Love it. Or minus covering 7.5. That was a winner. Yes. The Bears are just as bad as I thought they would be. I think I said that they should win the game by at least 10. They did. Stafford is actually the greatest. Lions get a share of the Super Bowl. Quote me on this. When the Rams win it, Lions get half, 50-50. I'll take that.
You're welcome, Ellen.
Yeah, Rams minus 7.5. That was absolutely free money. Thank you, Andy Dalton, for staying in the game the entire time. And then Mac Jones over 19.5 completions. I should have just taken everything I owned and just put it right on it.
Mortgage, car.
And I remember you giving me this funny look, like, ooh, is that guarantee? He had 29 completions.
He threw the ball more than I thought he would, but I think Mac Jones' Rookie of the Year conversation needs to be had already.
Definitely needs to be talked about.
And he also should have won that game. I don't know, you might, were you watching the first half? His first touchdown pass he threw, he wouldn't take the ball. It was his first touchdown pass in the NFL. He wouldn't take the ball. He kept handing it to other people because he said they needed to score more points, and he was disappointed in
He's a
himself.
points guy. He's an over guy.
I mean, the next Tom Brady's going to be in New England 20 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, great 3-0 week for Eldred. 4-2 on the week. I went 2-4. But you know what? There's two types of gamblers. There's winners, like Eldred last week, and there's quitters.
Quitters. And that is not
I choose
Cody.
to be a winner. I'm not quitting. The only way to recoup your losses is to keep betting.
Yep, double down. Chase the losses.
Chase losses. We chase losses on this podcast. So let's get right into our winners this week. We're going to kick it off with NFL this week, a little spin zone. Actually, no, let's do a little weekend recap first.
All right. Yeah, we had pretty wild weekends.
I think that just sounds right. If you're following along on Twitter, you know that everywhere that we touched this weekend, there was winners. Did the Tigers win?
Tigers did win.
Tigers beat the Rays.
They won like 10-4 or something.
So, yeah, I went to Michigan State this weekend. I went up to East Lansing. Absolutely thumped Youngstown State. First play was a flea flicker, just like everybody anticipated. Peyton Thorne's the truth. Went out to the bars after the game. We ran into, shout out, Goran Sutan. Shout out Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson called our friend Drew cute. Little sus, but you love to see it.
Title of the pod? Jaren Jackson sus?
Dropped the title. Draymond Green was there. Miles Bridges, Cassius. All the boys were back. East Lansing was buzzing. You absolutely love to see it. The Vodka Rebels were flowing.
Dangerous.
Yeah, you went to the night game in Michigan. How was it?
Well, I first started with sweet tickets courtesy of my work for the Tigers game. Free beer, private bathroom. What
No
more
free
could you
ads.
ask
We're not-
for? Yeah,
we're not
I'm
saying where Eldred
not.
works.
I'm not saying where I work. Sorry. You can sponsor us if you want. That game was electric. Grand slam in the 7th inning to put us ahead, and then move into Saturday where I go to the Big House at the night game in the maze out. Got to experience the Mr. Brightside. That was probably the highlight of the game after we ran it 60 times and only threw it for 15 times. I think he capped out at like 50 or 40 yards.
Jim Harbaugh is coaching high school football.
Yeah, I mean, pound the rock on Washington, I guess, but give the fans something to cheer for.
You also got to see my future employers, Dave Portnoy and Big Cat.
I did. We went to the Barstool
Sports
Sports Show just to see how we could be better. That was cool. There was a Fuck Ohio chant probably every 5 minutes. So I definitely almost lost my voice screaming that because Ohio State lost.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Wyatt. Yeah, it was a big sports weekend.
But yeah, moving into this weekend, the last 3 sporting events I've gone to, Michigan State won both games. The Cubs won on a walk-off. You went to the Tigers and Michigan game. We're 5-0 in our last live sporting events, and we're going to the Michigan State-Miami game this weekend. I'm sure we'll have a lot of stories for next week's pod. We'll get into it later on the show, but hammer Michigan State money line.
Respectfully.
But yeah, let's move into our NFL picks. Go ahead and kick us off, Evan.
All right, so I'm hopping on the Stafford bandwagon, and I'm taking the Rams -4 at Indianapolis. Stafford did exactly what he's been doing with the Lions, except he actually got the win, which is good for him. So the Rams are 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 versus the Colts, and most of those were with Goff, and Goff is bad. They're also 4-1 the last 5 Week 2 games, and the Colts are 1-4 against the spread in the last 5, and they're 1-6 against the spread in the last 7 home games. Also, I would never put my hard-earned money on Wentz, and this last game, his top 2 wide receivers, who were they? They weren't even wide receivers; they were his running backs.
Naheem Hines
And Jonathan Taylor. Yep.
Wow.
Indianapolis has a good defense, but the Rams have better defense. Indianapolis has a bad offense, and the Rams have good offense. So you take the puzzle pieces, you fit them together, and you get Rams -4. That's free money.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Colts back-to-back weeks getting abused by the NFC West. What can you do? This is the only thing I'm curious about. Will the roof at Lucas Oil Stadium be open or not?
Ooh.
I think if it's open, Jim Irsay, I like the Colts there. It'll be closed.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Rams by 1 million. Cooper Kupp, fantasy player. I hope you have 6 touchdowns. Colts stink. Moving in to my first pick. Love this one here. Saints -4 at the Panthers. Sam Darnold, last week was his week to be the guy. Revenge game against the Jets, first game of the year. Still stunk, was fumbling in the red zone. He's a bust. I don't care. This is just an eye test game for me. I'll throw one stat out there. The Saints are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 in Carolina.
And they absolutely pumped Green Bay.
They made Green Bay look like UMass last week.
Ooh.
So I love the Saints here, and also the Hall of Fame campaign for Jameis Winston starts It started last week at 5 touchdowns. I only had like 150 yards.
Yeah.
Who cares? He threw 5 tutties. All the different guys. He's gonna go in to North Carolina and steal this game like he's gonna steal some crab legs at FSU.
Oh no.
I love
People
the Saints
forget.
by 1 million. I love them by more than 4.
What's the alt? If you had to take an alt line, what is it?
Give me Saints by at least 10.
All right.
I'm not sure how long the alt lines will go on DraftKings right now, but at least 10.
Okay.
I can't wait until the Panthers win that one outright. But your next pick.
Monday Night Football. You're not going to like this one because usually Monday nights go under, correct? Or is it
They went over last night.
They did go over last night. I'm going to take Lions and Packers prime time at Lambeau over 49.5.
Yeah.
Things to think about.
That's the
all
pick.
you need to know is that the Lions, big quotes on this one, best DB, one of them, Okuda,
Jeff Obada.
got hurt.
Yeah.
He's out for the year. So he's one of their best and gets cooked every game. So Lions defense is already bad. They're going to be worse. Rodgers, I couldn't think of a better team to play after getting smashed than the Lions. So I'm counting on Green Bay to put up 35-40 and the Lions to just give me that 2 touchdowns, or maybe they do what they did last week.
Swift breaks a run.
Yeah.
Hawk Daddy.
So for the Lions, the over is 5-1 against NFC opponents. That's good. And it's 5-1 the last 6 September. And for the Packers, it is 4-1 in the last 5 games. And 5-1 in the last 6 in September. So all the signs are pointing to over. Aaron Rodgers is going to be upset.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff's going to probably make like 1 interception or pick 6 that he shouldn't do. Look for Green Bay to pummel them.
Yeah,
but
look for Devontae Adams to score
10
touchdowns this
The
week.
spread's a little too high for me, so I'll just take the points.
Love that pick. Moving into another eye test game for me. I said I wasn't giving stats. I'm not giving stats. Give me Chiefs -4 at the Ravens. Ravens aren't going to be able to run all over Chiefs defense like the Browns did. Eye test last night. Their offensive line might be the worst in the NFL. The Raiders were getting after Max Crosby. Looked like the greatest defensive end in history
I just
last
kept hearing
night.
his name, yeah.
Yeah. Mahomes owns Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson can't win big games. Last time these teams played last year was 34-20. It wasn't even that close. Derek Carr threw for 435 yards
That's a lot.
on this Ravens defense without Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters is out for the year. If Derek Carr can throw for 435, does Patrick Mahomes throw for 1,000 this week? I think he might.
Yeah, I'll take the under on that one, but he might.
Tyreek Hill
Might be
might score
sweaty.
50 touchdowns. And the Ravens haven't beaten Andy Reid since he was hired as a Chiefs coach. They are 0-4 against him. Hammer the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean,
There's nothing else I can say about that game.
I agree. My last pick is going to be Cardinals -3 versus the Vikings. Kyler looked great in his first game. He threw for almost 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception in the blowout win against Derrick Henry.
That was our dog of the week. People forget.
Yep.
Cardinals.
And they blew out the Titans. Kirk looked all right. 350 yards, 2 touchdowns in their OT loss.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals made a lot of moves in the offseason to get a better defense. Also, people forget this is the Patrick Peterson revenge game after he signed with the Vikings after being 10 years in Arizona, but he's just one guy. Just one guy. And so the Cardinals are 7-3 against the spread in the last 10, and the over, sprinkle it, is 5-1 in the last 6 home games. And the Vikings, this is a stat that stood out to me. Vikings are 0-8 against the spread in the last 8. And they're 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 road games. Vikings stink. Kirk Cousins is bad. He's going to crumble under the pressure. J.J. Watt's going to, like, Fortnite dance over his face.
Take the L.
I would take Cardinals -3 all the way up to -7 touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, if I know anything about Kirk Cousins as an MSU alumni, I followed his career quite closely, and he stinks on semi-prime time and primetime games. This is a 4:00 game on Fox. I think if this is the 1:00 game, he might play better against the Cardinals, but since it's the 4:00 game, I just know, like voodoo magic, Kirk Cousins is going to stink. Hammer the Cardinals.
Too.
Kyler Murray, MVP campaign, started last week. We're going to continue it against the Vikings Swiss cheese defense.
Yep.
Free money. And then moving into my last pick, Bills at Dolphins. TJ Watt was everywhere last week for the Steelers. I don't think the Dolphins have a pass rusher like that. Maybe Christian Wilkins, you could argue, but TJ Watt's the premier defensive end in the league right now, other than Aaron Donald, I'd say. I think Tua Tagalong is a glorified game manager. The last time these two teams played, he threw 3 interceptions, and the final score was 56-26. Wasn't even close. Josh Allen threw 7 TDs last year against the Dolphins. You're probably saying, hey, Cody, the Dolphins upset the Patriots last week as underdogs.
It wasn't really that.
Damian Harris fumbled in the red zone. We were going to kick a field goal. A lot of stupid penalties, turnovers. They shouldn't have won that game. This game won't even be close. Josh Allen's going to be upset. He's playing a much worse defense. I think they put up points against the Dolphins at the Dolphins. I don't even think the Dolphins have fans that go to the games.
I haven't seen that spunk out of the Dolphins ever since Fitzmagic left. Tua's like, oh, I'm good. I can do this.
Yeah.
You can't. You got to win games.
Yeah. So give me Bills -3 there. And then moving into our NFL Dog of the Week, it's 1-0. Cardinals won mightily last week. Give us Cowboys money line this week, +145.
Dak is good.
America's team, Jerry Jones.
They're back.
Stand up. They're playing at the Chargers now. You're probably saying, hey, Cody, you bet against the Chargers last week. Okay, my bad. Ryan Fitzpatrick got injured. But the Cowboys had a legitimate shot to beat the defending champs. People are saying the Bucs are going to go 17-0. Cowboys gave him a game. Dak is good.
Dak is good.
I don't know who covers Amari and CD.
Nobody.
Zeke looks slow. I think he bounces back this week. Buccaneers have the best run defense in the NFL. Also, the Chargers have legitimately no fans. Getting a phone call. Oops. They have nobody that goes to the games. This might be a home game for the Cowboys in LA. But Dak is back. Give us Cowboys money line +145. Hammer it.
Yep. Give it to us.
Ride the Dog of the Week train. And then now we're going to move into a segment, Ask the Mitten.
Ask the Mitten, sent to us by Jason Wilkinson.
Shout out listener Jason Wilkinson.
Jason says, if you could take an alternate spread in the MSU versus Miami game, which we're going to, what would it be and why would it be MSU -30? Give us a quick rundown. All right.
I'm dropping
Fumble.
stuff everywhere.
All right.
Fumble on the play. I will give you the breakdown. Kenneth Walker might be the best running back in college football right now.
Okay.
He leads the NCAA in yards after contact.
Have you looked at Blake Corum yet?
I've seen him. He's pretty good.
Okay.
That's a legitimate stat, though. He does lead in yards after contact. Peyton Thorne looks like the truth. We have two legitimate speedster wide receivers in Jalen Naylor and Jaden Reed. Miami is, I'm just going to put it this way. Miami's bad. Manny Diaz doesn't look like the guy at the U. Miami hasn't been good since they were...
Is Manny not the guy, or is Derek King not the guy? Derek King was better at Houston.
Yeah, he played in a bad conference. So then he transfers to the ACC and actually has to play people. And look at him now. He's a bum. I mean, they had a primetime game against Alabama. Got absolutely rolled.
All right, that's Alabama.
I don't care. Make it a game. It didn't even look like a game at any point. App State comes into town. This is your bounce back week. It takes a late field goal to win that game.
App State's good.
App State is good. Hammer App State in all their games the rest of the year. And also we're gonna be at the game. Like, I'm 2-0 at Michigan State games. If I'm in Hard Rock Stadium, there's no way Mel Tucker says we're gonna lose today.
I bet he walks in and he goes, he walks in the locker room, right? He just goes in and he goes, guys, Cody Wilkins is at this game.
Yep.
He has minus 30. They go on, they win by 31.
Why not?
34-3 game.
Also,
MSU's defense is
we'll get into this
good.
later in the dog of the week, but if Mel Tucker showed us anything last year against Michigan, he can get the boys up for a big game. I just think Miami has MSU coming to town. They might not be as hyped. This is a primetime ABC game at noon.
Maybe we'll see some of the players out fucking around after. You think they're flying home right after?
No, they're going to be at 11 or live.
I think we're taking shots with Peyton Thorne and Kenneth Walker on Saturday.
And Mel Tucker.
Yeah, Mel Tucker's going to walk in and get a shot of tequila, and I'm going to say that's it.
Tuck coming.
Let's go.
Yeah, if I were to take an alternate spread there, I think that the highest I saw it go up for MSU was plus 2.5, like plus 170. But if DraftKings would let me, I'd take MSU by at least 10.
Sneaky pick right here. Sneaky. Woo, woo. Under 56 of that game. Two good defenses. Quote-unquote good defenses.
You see, I disagree.
Sneaky.
Our run defense has looked bad. They might be able to run the ball.
Okay, well, running keeps the clock going, though. I'm not worried about the run.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. So, yeah, that's our – thank you, Jason Wilkinson, for the question. Make sure to DM us any questions that you guys would have. College football, not college football, would you rather, whatever.
Another new segment right here.
New segment alert.
Woo, woo.
This is our segment we'd like to call Fuck JT Daniels. How this is going to go.
Fuck JT Daniels.
Yeah, fuck JT Daniels. He didn't even play last week. He's a bum.
Fuck JT.
Fuck JT Daniels.
All right, on to our next segment.
Now we're going to move into our college football picks. So I'll kick us off here. Give me the Bearcats at Indiana. It's their time. I think this is Cincinnati's year. They got snubbed last year out of the college football playoff. This is one of the games that they have to win. They have just this and Notre Dame on their schedule. Those are the two big games. Tom Allen stinks. Michael Penix stinks. I'm betting my heart on this one. All the stats are saying Indiana.
All the stats are saying Indiana.
I took those stats.
I stepped away.
I took those stats and I dumped them at Tom Allen's house.
No.
A garbage can.
No.
Yup. They have, Cincinnati hasn't played good teams in Murray State and Miami, but they did what they were supposed to do. They crushed both of them. And Michael Penix has been atrocious in both of his games.
Very bad.
I think last year just proves Indiana was frauds because there was no fans in the stands. I know this is in Bloomington.
It is.
But I love the Bearcats here. I just think they're playing too well.
I like them too. It's just that line is so low that it's like it was a red light, and that's why I stepped away from it. And then I looked at the stats, and it was all these Indiana, and I just can't bet on Indiana. So I'd rather not bet on that
Penix
game.
only threw for like 130 yards last week.
You're a bigger man than I for betting on that game.
He threw for 130 yards on Idaho. I just think the Cincinnati defense is so good.
It's pretty good.
They're going to swarm him, hammer the Bearcats. Luke Fickell, he's coming. College football playoff.
My pick 1 is Coastal Carolina, riding them again, -10 at Buffalo. The line, I did bet it yesterday. It is already up to 13.5. I would probably still take that. Coastal is an absolute unit in the Sun Belt Conference, and Grayson McCall should be getting like Heisman recognition. Like, put him at 5. Just get his name in there.
Just put him on the list.
Yeah, put him on the list. Just get his.
I'm not saying he needs
morale.
to win it. I'm
No.
just saying.
No, I'm not saying to win it, but Buffalo's a middle-of-the-road MAC team. They only scored 3 points against Nebraska. And, Nebraska is Nebraska. I'm sick of talking about them. They will come up later in this episode. Sorry. Coastal's 9-2-1 against the spread in the last 12, and they're 5-1 as a road favorite. And Buffalo is 1-5 against the spread in the last 5 as an underdog. So, Buffalo got blown out by a horrendous Nebraska team, and Coastal got off to a slow start against Kansas and still covered 4 touchdowns. So, I do not think a middle-of-the-road MAC team is going to beat this team on a tear right now.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm a big Coastal guy, so I'm not arguing against that pick at all. Now moving into my second pick, I'm going Enter Sandman here.
Ooh.
The Hokies, they're 2.5-point dogs at West Virginia. Vegas is most of the time smarter than me. I don't know where that line came from.
I think they just picked it out of a hat.
They just said, we don't care. We don't like our money. Virginia Tech has won 3 straight against West Virginia. West Virginia lost to Maryland. Maryland's bad.
West Virginia Country Roads?
Yeah,
Okay.
If anybody watched Rough and Rowdy,
Virginia
Tech is Bobby Lang. West Virginia is Pac-Man Jones.
I would just love to be in the stadium just to see the people. Like these are actual
overalls,
people.
Yeah.
Like
Cousins kissing cousins.
I would put West Virginia people here, Walmart people.
Whoa. Okay, that's fair. The question mark in this game is, can Virginia Tech's defense stop the West Virginia offense? I'm not sure where that... I saw that in a lot of articles this week. Virginia Tech literally stopped Sam Howell, like the best quarterback prospect in this class. They shut him down. They beat North Carolina. They've proven they can be good teams. West Virginia lost their only test against Maryland. They're 2.5-point dogs. Take those 2.5 points and throw them in the garbage bin with JT Daniels, where he should live. Hammer Virginia Tech money line plus 125 there. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow.
Man. Play the song. Let's go.
Okay.
See you, Morgantown.
Do you remember when I said I'm going to talk about Nebraska later on in this episode?
I remember.
Here it is, and I'm taking Oklahoma -22 at home against Nebraska. Nebraska stinks. Adrian Martinez stinks. I'm going to get mad if I keep talking about him.
Don't even give me a single stat. This is just an eyeball game.
Yeah.
And this is... I don't care if this pick loses. This is personal against Nebraska.
Just know the stats are favoring Oklahoma. Know that Adrian Martinez has the ball in his hands when he's on offense. And know that Spencer Rattler is on the other side of the ball. That's all you have to see.
Spencer Rattler wears earrings when he plays.
Yeah, I'd take Oklahoma by like 28.
I'd take him by 1 million. See you, Scott Frost.
I'm not giving stats. Scott Frost stinks. Adrian Martinez stinks. I need to stop thinking about him. Oklahoma.
Boomer Sooner.
Oklahoma.
Circle the wagons.
Yep.
And then moving into my last pick here, let's go Buffs, huh?
Yeah.
Boulder, Colorado.
Why not? Mel Tucker's old team.
PJ Fleck, PJ Fraud.
Wow.
Might have been a little out of pocket there.
Yeah.
Ibrahim did get injured.
Yeah.
Minnesota barely escaped Miami, Ohio last week.
Good team.
Meanwhile, Colorado almost knocked off Texas A&M at home. This is another game at home. I think a little unlucky last week. I think something's different this week. Ibrahim was a massive loss for them. They're not going to be able to run the ball against Colorado. Colorado's rushing attack, I think they're going to run all over Minnesota. And you know what? I don't see a lot of guys talking about this. The elevation.
Absolutely.
You're going from Minnesota to Boulder. We went to Boulder last year.
It is a real thing.
You get above sea level. They sell cans of air there. Tanner Morgan is gonna be begging for air. He just looks like when he puts his helmet on, he looks like a chonk boy. I think he's gonna be needing a lot.
I just
of
wish
oxygen.
that he had some kind of hair on his head.
Yeah, I mean, there's how PJ Fleck will like run the.
Yeah.
He'll run like a 40-yard. He'll run the whole length of the
Yes.
field before the game.
Yeah.
He's gonna be gassed by the 40-yard line.
Wow.
Elevation. Hammer the Buffs at home. Tough place to play. It's gonna be rocking. Colorado -2. That's the pick.
Easy. And my last pick is cut to the first episode. I'm not going to edit this in, but if I wanted to, I could cut to the first
lazy.
episode where I said, if I dick ride CMU, don't worry about it. I'm dick riding them, and I'm riding hard. I'm going
Pause.
Central Michigan -21 in Baton Rouge at night. Primetime game, 7:30, -21. LSU stinks. They beat McNeese 34-7, and CMU beat Robert Morris 45-0.
Ed Fraugeron.
Who looked better? Yeah.
Joe Brady and Joe Burrow aren't walking through those doors.
Yeah. I mean, Mac Nation is going to stand up. Does CMU travel well? No. We don't even travel well to our own home stadium, but the football team
Kelly Short Stadium,
yeah,
baby.
Kelly Short Stadium gets like half full at like the homecoming, so it's a tough site.
Yep.
Central is 4-1 in the last 5, and here's the stat that really pushed me over, that made me need to take it. They're 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 road games. LSU is 0-2 this year, and if you want to sprinkle the over, which I would kind of think about. The over is 4-1 the last 5 home games for LSU. I think I might be looking for a absolute sneaky backdoor cover here. And I've said that before, but I also believe that our best wideout, Pimpleton, is going to carry us past those Tiger bums.
What a name.
CMU might be called the Tiger Killers after this game.
I think the only question mark I would have is LSU allowed to play neck? If so, I would hammer, I'd say go Tiger. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers by a million. I don't think they're allowed to play neck.
They're not. Central's just going to walk in, say, oh, Joe Burrow does not play here. Okay, we can win.
They're going to walk in and they're going to say, suck our Tiger dicks, bitch.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Central money line. I'm
Fire
kidding.
up, baby.
I'm kidding. Central plus the points.
Take all
plus
the points.
21. That's a lot. It's 3 scores.
Take as many
LSU
points
hasn't
as
had a
you
good
get.
quarterback. Their defense is iffy. Offense stagnant. Take the points.
You love to see it. And then finally, our college dog of the week. We referenced this earlier. We're going to the game, so we figured we have to take this as the dog of the week.
On the banks of the Red Cedar. That's all I know.
So we are going to take the Spartan Dogs. Tuck coming. I don't know what unis are going to come out in. I'm hoping it's a
I
whiteout.
hope it's not the neon ones.
Oh, if it would be, Spartans by a million. Chef's kiss. If you want some stats, Miami's 0-5 in their last 5 against the spread at home. Mel Tucker has referenced this in a few interviews this week. He thinks the Spartans are going to travel well. I don't really see that many Miami fans going to the game.
I don't know how well they're going to travel.
I think it's going to be East Lansing South. MSU gets up for the big game. Manny Diaz stinks. Kenneth Walker, I think he goes for 150.
I think Kenneth Walker has dinner with Manny Diaz's wife after this game, after they pummel them.
I think Mel Tucker might adopt Manny Diaz as his own son after this game.
He can't be taller than like 5'6". Manny Diaz? Let me check that.
While Eldred is doing the stats.
Guess how tall Manny Diaz is?
5'5".
6'2".
Oh my God.
All
he's
right,
a unit.
I was wrong. Okay, he can be like the stepson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How the fuck is he 6'2"?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just
if
because he
only
has
he
like
was-
6'5" linemen around him at all times.
Maybe you should sacrifice a couple inches like for
for a win,
a win.
like a quality win.
Yeah.
Would this be a quality win for them? Also, I do want to say that Michigan cracked the AP Top 25, and Michigan State's on the outside looking in.
We got the fourth most votes.
He did.
Manny Diaz said it this week. Michigan State's playing as well as anybody in the country. This is a primetime game. Youngstown State, we pumped the Penguins last week. We showed Northwestern who their daddy was. Love the Spartans here. Hammer the Spartans. Respectfully.
Keyword respectfully.
So that's our show for the week. I'll go ahead and walk through my board here. So it's Saints -4 against the Panthers, Chiefs -4 against the Ravens, and then Bills -3 at the Dolphins, Cowboys money line for dog of the week there. And then college picks, Cincinnati -3.5 at Indiana, Virginia Tech money line at West Virginia, and Colorado -2 at home against Minnesota. Dog of the week, like we mentioned. Your Spartan Dogs. Evan, your card.
My card looks like the Rams -4 at the Colts, winner. Lions at Packers, over 49.5. That's going to be sweaty. Cardinals -3 versus the Vikings. That's a winner. Clip this for next episode where one of them loses. Coastal -10 at Buffalo. Oklahoma -22 against Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah. And CMU +21 at LSU.
Love it. So this
at
week,
least 10 winners.
insert verbal meme. The board is Machine Gun Kelly. Me and Evan are Conor McGregor. Our bet slips are the drink.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like the board is Megan Fox.
Oh,
We are MGK when they kiss with just the tongue.
ooh,
Think about it. Something to think about.
bonk. Okay, so that's our show. Take our picks. Big
Rock,
bounce
paper,
back
scissors.
week. We'll be live from Miami next week. Rock, paper, scissors. Here we go.
Series is 1-1. That's a trick right there for all you folks at home.
Scissors. Sorry. 2-1,
See you
baby.
guys.
Mid money bets. See you next week.